Welcome everyone to day 2 of round 6 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Qualifying 2 is just getting underway. Our first ever visit here to the Hungaroring provided some fantastic racing yesterday and a historical result. A first time we had a rookie on the podium this season, a first time winner in Habercourt as well, his first pole position yesterday as well. What will today provide? We had Gabriele Mini take his 4th podium in a row, and that has closed the gap in the championship to just 27 points. You can see cars already making their way out onto the circuit. How the qualifying system works, for those of you new to this series, the field will be split into 2 groups, 33 drivers out there in total. Group A is made up of the drivers 3rd, 5th in the championship, and so on. Group B are the remaining drivers. Now, yesterday, Group A went out onto the circuit first, Group B went out second. Roles are reversed today, so Group B will take to the circuit first. In there, we will have Paul Aron, Hadrian David, Gabriel Bortoletto, Sebastian Montoya, Lorenzo Fluxa, Joshua Dirksen, Matteo Capietto, Roman Belinsky, who was on the podium yesterday, Victor Bernier, Pietro Deligoanti, Esteban Masson, who got his first point yesterday, Santiago Ramos, home driver Levente Rivets, Axel Noss, Pietro Armani, and Hamda Al-Kebasi. There you can see fans getting ready to watch the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine cars. The Group B drivers will set a time. The Group A then have to try and go and beat it. If they don't, they will form the outside row of the grid. That's how it works, essentially. The drivers are qualifying for what row of the grid that they will start on. 15 minutes for each group. It's as pretty simple as that, really. It's all about trying to find a space. Some drivers yesterday struggled to find a gap on the road. They're all trying to get a little bit of a tow, but when they do that, they do find themselves a little bit congested, as you can see. There's Roman Belinsky, was absolutely over the moon yesterday, became the first rookie this season to finish on the podium and took the first podium for the Trident team as well. There we can see Axel Noss in the number 7 for G4 Racing. If you weren't with us yesterday, there are a couple of changes. We'll go through them very, very quickly. Owen Tangavelu has moved from G4 to RPM. RPM have also acquired the services of Andrea Rosso for this weekend. He has come back from retirement. MP Motorsport, sadly we do not have Delano Van Hoff and Michael Beloff with us this weekend. Delano due to injury, Michael due to personal reasons. Francesco Braschi has moved across from KIC to MP Motorsport, and Han Chen Yu is not racing this weekend due to testing positive for COVID-19 earlier this week. And we look forward to seeing him back at the next round. RPM, due to the fact they now have 2 new drivers, means Keith Donegan is also not racing this weekend, and he is focusing on running the team. Well, there we go, just over 10 minutes to go in this session. The pole time yesterday was at 1:38.655, and it was actually the first group who were quicker. Now, we have had the GT cars go out there and qualify, so there is rubber down. They might have to change their lines slightly because the GT cars do take a little bit of a tighter line at times into some of the corners. So some of the drivers say when they go out after their GT cars, they sometimes have to adjust their lines slightly to follow where the rubber has been laid down. That'll be a challenge for them. Getting the tyres up to temperature will be another, and getting a time set whilst they are in their peak performance will be another 2. There's Victor Bernier in the number 12, finished in 18th place yesterday. One thing to watch out for is track limits as well. That cost Sami Megatunic very dearly yesterday. He had a lap time deleted, which cost him from what would have been a top 10 starting position, put him way down the order. He eventually put in a good performance to climb up the order and finish in 17th. Good move being made there as drivers try and get good track position. That was the number 5 of Matteo Capietto we saw going down the inside. Not a good day by his high standards. got a 9th place at Zandvoort. Here's Lorenzo Fluxer. It looks like he might be one of the first drivers to set a time for us. We've got some top drivers in the championship in this one, the likes of Bortoletto and Hadrian David as well, who's running 5th in the championship, is up there. We'll keep an eye on him, and Paul Aron definitely one to watch as well, as Lorenzo Fluxer comes across the line to do a 1:44.521. Now, one thing we learned yesterday in the race is that you do not want to be the group starting on the even side of the grid. It is the inside row of the grid, i.e. you do not want to be starting 2nd, 4th and 6th. That is the inside of the circuit. You will start further back than those 1st, 3rd and 5th. But that is the dirty side of the track, and we saw yesterday that off the start, those starting on the inside line really suffered off the start, and those on the outside just drove past them. So the battle to start to be the quicker group today is going to be even more intense, I think. And now we've had a race, and everyone has seen just how effective the start was. Lorenzo Fluxer will be one of the drivers looking to get back inside the points. Was a double point scorer back at Paul Ricard, a podium finisher back at the season opener as well. The Spaniard makes his way up towards turn 11 now. The quicker group yesterday, though, as I said, was the first group. Will the advantage be lent to this group yesterday? We will find out. It was the other group who were quicker yesterday. Out of the final corner we come, and Hadrian David makes his way up towards the start-finish line. Group A were quicker yesterday. We're watching Group B now, and Hadrian David comes across the line to do a 1:39.498. That's a good time. That's only around 8/10 from what we saw yesterday. Gabriel Bortoletto is second. Lorenzo Fluxer has just gone there. Roman Belinsky goes 1:38.952 to jump up to the top. He's one of the first drivers there, the first to go sub 1:39. Esteban Masson goes up to second. So the rookie's performing very well so far. Esteban, who was in the points yesterday, goes to second. Hadrian David is in third. Maceo Capietto looking to get back in the points is fourth. Santiago Ramos has made a really good start to the session. He runs in 5th so far. Purple first sector there for Hadrian David, looking to improve on this lap. We've got to keep an eye on him. We're watching Roman Belinsky on screen, podium finisher from yesterday, and he's moved up to 12th in the championship. As a result, he's done a personal best first sector there, but this is the man who is quickest on track so far. Roman Belinsky, that's the quickest first sector we've actually seen so far in this session that he's just gone and done, but Hadrian David has just gone and done the quickest second sector. So Roman Belinsky in the fight to try and go quickest and take provisional pole position, but Hadrian David looks like he'll be one of the first to cross the line. He makes his way up the climb now to the final corner. The Alpine Junior, not the best result by his standards yesterday. He'll want to get a good qualifying result today. Across the line comes one of the Prema drivers that look like Alcabasi, as Hadrian David does a 1:38.823. Puts himself up to the top. A bit of a slide there for Roman Belinsky out of the penultimate corner. Bortoletto has gone second, 49 thousandths back from David. Here comes Belinsky now up to the line, just over a 1/10 of a second to find, and he finds it. 1:38.727 for the Polish driver. He goes quickest in the session. However, Victor Bernier is out there going quicker as well, and he jumps up to 5th place. There he is on screen. Good time that from Victor Bernier. Where is Paul Aron? He's currently running down in 10th place, but he's on a personal best lap so far. Roman Belinsky looks like he's on a cool lap. Esteban Masson is up to 4th. Maceo Capietto is in 6th place. Lorenzo Fluxer in 7th. Then it's Deligoanti in 8th. Just a change there. Maceo Capietto looks like he's gone ahead of Deligoanti. Lorenzo Fluxer is 8th. Santiago Ramos is in 9th. Pietro Armani running in 10th place so far. Drivers on a cool-down lap. One driver who isn't is Paul Aron. Needs to find some time here. Currently, he would be starting row 12 on the grid, so at best, he would be starting down in 23rd place. He started on the front row yesterday, but just got a really bad launch off the line on the dirty side of the grid, just couldn't get away at all, and then had a bit of an incident down at turn 2, slid wide and dropped all the way down the lower order of the top 10, but that's more like it from the driver third in the championship, 138.859. Pietro Deligoanti, quickest through the first sector. The RPM driver scored his first points back at Zandvoort, and Pietro Deligoanti is absolutely flying on circuit, the number 55. He's currently running 8th in this session so far. We'll keep an eye on what he does through the second sector. Looks like everyone else is on a cool-down lap. Just quickly though, your championship position. Dino Beganovic leads on 180, Mini is on 153, Aaron on 138, Habercourt on 122, and then David is on 104. That's the top 5 in the standings. Here we pick up Pietro Deligoanti. Personal best through the second sector, quickest first sector. What can he do through the final corner? Keith Donegan watching on, hoping to see his driver go to the top. Looked like he ran a little bit wide coming out the final corner there, up to the line. Let's see if that costs him. It does a little bit, 139.050, not the best last sector there for Deligoanti. Not too sure if he was held up or if he just lost grip in the tyres, but Pietro Deligoanti, 7th place for him so far. Still a good time, but more time to be found in that car. Gabriel Bortoletto is improving on this lap. Look how close the times are to the left of screen. 2/10 between the top 6. Victor Bernier in 6th place now. Going along really well as the Frenchman. Didn't have the best of days yesterday. Wasn't happy at all. Never is unless he's in the points. And Victor Bernier, let's see what he can do. Oh, big slide there for Roman Belinsky. Absolutely pushing now to try and take provisional pole. Hadrian David is going quicker. We're on push laps once more. Aaron comes up to the line and goes third. Paul Aaron up to 3rd place. Roman Belinsky makes his way down the hill. He's backed off as we make our way up to the start-finish line. There we can see Hadrian David. Can he take provisional pole? No. 138.787. So Hadrian David stays in 2nd place for the time being. Bortoletto is in 3rd. Aaron 4th, then it's Masson, Bernier, Deligoanti, Cappietto, Fluxa, Dirksen, Ramos, Montoya, who we saw come across the line. Having a quiet session so far. Here comes Victor Bernier, quickest through the second sector. Makes his way up to the start-finish line. He's right in the top of screen in the blue car, and he goes second. 138.774 for the number 12 there. Victor Bernier into P2. It's a rookie 1-2 so far. Roman Belinsky backed off. Less than 2 minutes to go. Roman Belinsky looks like he's on another push lap now. Victor Bernier has got the message through that he's just gone to P2. Now either he's frustrated he's not P1, or he's very happy he's gone to P2 knowing Victor. His dad will be very, very pleased with that, I'm sure. Paul Aaron, personal best first sector. Paul Aaron, quickest through the second sector. Less than 2/10 between your top 6. Any one of those 6 could take pole position. Less than 2/10 between the top 7. Joshua Dirksen, 1.5 tenths back from pole position. 138.878 for the driver from Paraguay. Brilliant time from him. So close here at the Hungaroring. Out the final corner. Here comes Aaron, currently in 5th. Make that first. 138.514 for Paul Aaron, trying to get another front row start. Montoya in the background. Can he improve? Doesn't look like he does. He did a personal best. 10th place for him so far, though. So moves up from 12th place to 10th. What about Roman Belinsky, though? Personal best first sector, personal best second sector. Pietro Deligoanti, meanwhile, once again, quickest through the first sector. Roman Belinsky catching Lorenzo Fluxa as they come up to the final corner. Out of the final corner, he might even grab a little bit of a toe here. Here he makes his way up to the start-finish line. Can he snatch that pole position back? No. 138.668 for Roman Belinsky. 1.5 tenths back from Aaron. Where's Joshua Dirksen, though? Because he's gone quickest through the first sector. He's done a personal best second sector. There's Deligoanti. He's flying as well. So it's Dirksen and Deligoanti now that we need to watch. They're currently in 7th and 8th place as they make their way up to the start-finish line. Here comes Pietro Deligoanti first, up to the line, P2. 138.531 for Pietro Deligoanti. 17 thousandths back from Paul Aaron, and he's going to get another go at it as well. checkered flag is waving here at the Hungaroring. Who's going to take pole? There goes Joshua Dirksen, P4. He's going to be in the top 10. Joshua Dirksen up to P4. The family watching from Paraguay will be cheering him on, I'm sure. Less than 2/10 back from pole position. Hadrian David, though, he may be down in 6th place, but he could be going to the front row. Paul Aron goes up to the line, 138.514. Didn't improve, but didn't even need to. Hadrian David, has he saved the best till last? He's 2/10 quicker than anyone through the first 2 sectors. Out of the final corner he comes. Here comes the Alpine Junior. Up to the line now. Has he been able to put it together? Yes, he does. 138.185. Provisional pole position there from Hadrian David. Over 3/10 quicker than anyone. Gabriel Bortoletto goes to 2nd. Just misses out, 57 thousandths back. Where is Roman Belinsky, though? He's going slower on this lap. He crosses the line. He will not be higher than 5th place. Victor Bernier's had a slow 2nd sector. He won't be higher than 8th place, unfortunately. And it doesn't look like we're going to see any big improvements further down. Esteban Masson might improve, actually. He's done a really good 1st sector and a really good 2nd sector as well. Up to the line, Esteban Masson comes and he goes up to 6th place. So a good time there from Esteban. He will be just outside the top 10 on the grid. But provisional pole position there going to Hadrian David, a 138.185. That is everyone across the line now. Pietro Deligoanti was the only one not to cross it, but he's rolling down the pit lane as I look over from the commentary box. And Hadrian David puts himself onto the front row of the grid provisionally. He will be on pole position, started on pole back at Monaco in race 1, went on to win. That's the only time he's been on pole so far this season and the only time he's won. Here's your order then. Hadrian David first. Provisionally, he will be on pole. Gabriel Bortoletto will start on row 2. Paul Aron on row 3. Pietro Deligoanti in the top 10. Matteo Capietto in the top 10. Esteban Masson 6th. Roman Belinsky dropped down to 7th. Joshua Dirksen was 8th place. Then it was Sebastian Montoya in 9th. Victor Bernier 10th. Lorenzo Fluxer 11th. Then Santiago Ramos 12th. Pietro Armani 13th. Levente Rivets 14th. Axel Noss was 15th. Hamder Al-Kabasi 16th. Well, in the end, it all came down to those last laps and the drivers who didn't improve. Roman Belinsky, he didn't improve on the last lap, and it cost him dearly. Likewise, Victor Bernier as well. He didn't improve on the last lap. He dropped to 10th. Roman dropped down to 7th place. You needed to improve. Everyone else who did moved up. The top 5 drivers, the top 6 make that, all went quicker on that last lap. Hadrian David, the quickest of them all, beat Gabriel Bortoletto by 57 thousandths. There is Lorenzo Fluxer, 11th place for him. He's going to have work to do in the race later. He will start on row 11. Paul Aron 3rd. He will start from the 3rd row of the grid. Deligoanti will start from row 4. Matteo Capietto will start from row 5. Now, next out on track, it'll be Group A. If they beat the time of a 138.185, then they will form the inside row of the grid. And starting on the outside row of the grid will be the drivers we have just seen on circuit. So Hadrian David will start from P2 if Group A can go and beat the time of a 138.185. It's as simple as that. All they can do now is go and watch. The drivers in Group A now know the time they have to go and beat. And in that is our championship leader, Dino Beganovic. But what a session to get us underway. The green flag will be waving very shortly for Group number A. The cars will be making their way out onto the circuit. Once again, it'll be a 15-minute session. In this one, we will see Dino Beganovic in the number 18, still leads the championship on 180 points, finished in P7 yesterday, lost out on 6th place right at the end. Paul Aron making a move on him down at turn number 1, elbowed him out the way. Aggressive move from Paul Aron, but a fair fight between them nevertheless. And Dino Beganovic, as such, finished in 7th, his worst result of the season, bar his disqualification at Paul Ricard. and his worst on-track finish all season. As such, 180 points for him. 153 for Gabriele Mini. He's also going to be in this session in the number 46. He's reduced that championship lead to 27 points. Also in this session is Habercourt. Can he be beaten, is the question. He won comfortably yesterday. He beat Gabriele Mini to the line by 4.2 seconds. He was 19 seconds ahead of Roman Belinsky, who finished in third place. Mari Boyer needs a good result. He'll be out there in the 64. Leonardo Fornaroli got a personal best result yesterday, finishing in fourth place. Tim Tramnitz, three DNFs in a row. Sadly, a gearbox issue for Tim Tramnitz yesterday. Will just want to get to the line today. Let's see if he can qualify in the top 10 like he did yesterday. Lawrence Van Hoopen will be out there in the 42. He finished 11th yesterday. Noel Leon put in a good performance yesterday, climbed up to 13th place, having started down in 21st. Sami Megatunic will be aware of track limits. That cost him yesterday. Josh Dufek got a best result of the season yesterday with a 5th place. Was disappointed when I spoke to him, though, not to make it onto the podium, because very briefly he was running in third place at the start of the race. Dudu Barrichello will be out there in the 91. Owen Tangavellu will be out there in the 65, finished 19th yesterday. Nico Baptiste, happy with his progress this weekend. He's in the 35. Francesco Braschi in the 77. Likewise, he's been happy with the progress he's made. He climbed up to 23rd in the race yesterday. Mateusz Zagazeta will be in the number 8. Then we have Piotr Wisnicki in the 21. And the returning Andrea Rosso, there he is in the orange and green. He is in the 75, the best result of 5th for him last season. So he's got the pace, he just hasn't been in the car since we had the season closer at Monza last season. Well, up to the start-finish line they come then. Your result from yesterday, by the way, if you weren't with us, it was Kaz Habercourt who took the win from Gabriele Mini and Roman Belinsky. As we mentioned there, Fornaroli was 4th from Dufek, Aron was 6th from Beganovic, Hadrian David was 8th, and it was Bortoletto. Masson was in 10th place. Sadly, Tim Tramnitz and Dudu Barrichello did not finish the race, so we're hoping to make up for that today. 138.185 though, and the session's not going to be over until it's over, so stick with us right to the end of this one. There is Nico Baptiste, the Colombian, makes his way downhill. One of 23 drivers making his debut here this weekend. 23 of the 33 drivers out there have never raced here before. One thing I will say is the Sunday races are usually better than the Saturday races, and I think that will be exaggerated this weekend, given the amount of drivers who haven't been here before. They all love the circuit. It's just a tough one to get your head round, isn't it? Particularly this second section, you can see they come through the chicane into this left, big back right, then they've got to go. Then you've got to get back across the circuit again, flat out through this left-hander, stay across to the left of the circuit to open up this turn right, number 11. Don't use too much of the curve on the exit, and then it's the downhill braking zone into 12, and it all goes by very, very quickly. But that is what they say is one of the toughest parts of the circuit. And you can imagine in the heat we have here, it's been over 30 degrees this weekend. After 30 minutes, they must feel the effect of driving through that second section of the circuit. Not only the tyres, but the drivers physically as well. There's Mari Boyer. He'll want a good result today. He did have contact in the race yesterday down at turn number 1. There's Lawrence Van Hoopen in the number 42, mentored by reigning Formula E champion Nick de Vries, who was a former winner at this circuit back in 2013. 11th place for him. Good result, given this is his first full season of single-seater racing, learning all the tracks as he goes along, racing with ART. There's Gabriele Mini in the 46. 4 podiums in a row, as we said. First back at Paul Ricard race 2, 3rd, 2nd at Zandvoort, 2nd at Hungary yesterday. Lots of visits to the podium for Gabriele Mini so far this season, 7 in total. Been a hugely impressive run for him, showing absolutely fantastic consistency. There's the MP Motorsport car of Sami Megatoonin. Was very quick in practice on Friday. That's, if people are wondering why I was sort of banging on about Sami Megatoonin missing out because of track limits, it's because he was really quick in practice, and it was he was setting really good times in qualifying, and it was I think a missed opportunity for him really, and I'm sure he would have been quite frustrated with that, but he's got a chance to put it right today. That's the good thing about the FRECA formats. 2 days, and they don't play any effect on each other unless you pick up a penalty that affects your race on Sunday, i.e. a grid drop. Overall, it's a fresh start when you come to Sunday morning, and you can go and put right anything that went wrong yesterday. Here's Mari Boya into turn one. I think we're going to see some times getting on the board now. The Spaniard making his way down to turn two. It's just been qualifying for Mari Boya. In the races, hugely, hugely quick, the Spaniard, running in 8th in the championship. And in a championship that consists of 39 drivers that have taken part so far this season, that isn't a bad effort at all, is it? But he'll want more podiums. He's visited the podium once this season back at Imola. He was carrying a problem, though, at that race. Only just about managed to hang on to that second. He said to me it was a hugely difficult task to finish second. He wanted the win that day. Brilliant driving out of the chicane there, you can see. Absolutely nailed that, didn't he? Let's see what he can do today. Just a little bit wide on the AstroTurf there. That looked like it unsettled the car slightly. Mari Boya gathers it together then as they come out of turn 11, down to turn 12. Huge drop downhill this. He can catch you out under braking. But so far, so good. Drop downhill, then into 13, and then the steep rise up into 14. That's why you can be in third gear, they are through here. Just because of how steep the rise up is through there, means you can brake so late, hard to overtake into that corner as such. When they grab fourth gear in the race, they can use the push-to-pass system. Right, 139.545. We're still over a second away from what we saw in the first session. Now we're a second away, 139.164. We're getting there. We are getting there. Gabriele Mini goes to the top, 139.164. Tim Tramnitz up to second place. Laurens van Hoopen in third, Leonardo Fornaroli fourth, Mari Boya in fifth, Matthias Zagazetter in sixth. What about Owen Tangavellu, the Frenchman, coming through the final corner? A driver who didn't really do any karting, just jumped straight into single-seater racing, still learning his trade and learning it very quickly, 138.741. How about that from Owen Tangavellu? Brilliant performance there from the RPM team. They're going along very well. They've got Pietro Deligoanti in the top 10. Carlo and Tangavellu make it 2 RPM cars in the top 10 for the first time this season. Gabriele Mini, though, will want to take that away from him. It's a provisional pole so far for RPM, but there's still a long way to go in this session. We're still about 5 tenths away from what we saw from Hadjian David. 138.185, to remind you, is the time that this group need to beat if they are going to be starting on pole position. Here we go then into turn 12. We're watching the ART car of Gabriele Mini. Up to second in the championship yesterday, 27 points back from Dino Beganovic. Beganovic is running down in 7th in this session so far. Groups are formed before the weekend, and that is them for the whole weekend. If you're wondering why first and second are in the same group as they come up to the line, 138.468. Brilliant time there from Gabriele Mini. Here we watch him come through T12. All 4 wheels over there, you can see. That was close, wasn't it? Almost close there to going off the AstroTurf. Absolutely nailed that, did Gabriele Mini. There's been no warning about track limits, so that looked all good in the steward's eyes. 138.468. Just over a tenth behind is Tim Tramnitz. Then it's Leonardo Fornaroli. Here's Josh Dufek, though. Went very, very well yesterday. Was the top rookie in qualifying. Started P5 on the grid. Teammate to Kaz Habercourt, the Van Amersfoort Racing driver. Personal best through Sector 1, personal best through Sector 2. Makes his way through T12 now, up towards the final 2 corners. Will we see Dufek get himself up into the top 5 once more? up to the final corner now. Josh Dufek on a mission, was so disappointed not to be on the podium yesterday. Can he get there today? He makes his way out the final corner. To do so, he's got to qualify in and around the podium places, and P4, that's not bad. 138.729, that would put him on road 4 on the grid. We're seeing improvements, though, out there on circuit. Owen Tangavelu has just done the fastest first sector I think we've seen all day. 36.099 from Owen Tangavelu. Needs to find just under 0.3 of a second to chase down Gabriele Mini. But Josh Dufek so far is P4. So it's Mini, Tramnitz, Fornaroli, Dufek, Habercourt, Beganovic, Tangavelu, Megatunov, Boyer, Van Hoopen. There's your top 10 so far. Will we see any changes, though? As I said, Tangavelu down in P7, going along really, really quickly through the first sector. We've got to keep an eye on Beganovic as well, and it's a personal best from Owen Tangavelu through the second sector as well. He'll be making his way up towards the final couple of corners now when we pick him up, the RPM driver there in the orange and green, the number 65. Here he comes, up to the final corner. Owen Tangavelu, can he get himself into the top 3? Can he get himself provisional pole? 138.185 to beat. He makes his way up to the line now, 138.947. Slow last sector, was a mistake somewhere, and Owen Tangavelu stays down in 7th place for now. Now we take a bit of a breather. The drivers give the tyres a bit of a break, and we will get ready to go again. Gabriele Mini is already on a charge again, though. He's just done the best first sector, 36.042. That's even better than the first sector we saw from Owen Tangavelu on that last lap. So Gabriele Mini now, he's only got himself to beat, but he's going along really well on this lap. Here we can see the ART driver absolutely hooking it up. The Italian a bit wide there, out of T9. Pushing all the limits now as he chucks the car into 11. Holding on to it now on the exit. Brilliant driving from Gabriele Mini. Slams on the anchors in towards turn 12. Just about gets to stop. Chucks the car in. Up towards the final 2 corners now. Straightens the car up for turn number 13. And there you can see, pushing on the fronts there. Car didn't want to go in for a little while there. Gabriele Mini now slides through turn number 14 and absolutely nails it on the exit. Just millimeters away from the AstroTurf, and Gabriele Mini up to the line, 138.512. Slower last sector, but only by thousandths of a second. Dudu Barrichello is improving. Noel Leon is improving. The 2 Arden teammates going quicker. Dudu Barrichello was very quick in practice. He was running in the top 10. Kaz Habercourt is going quicker. We've got to keep an eye on him as well. Track limits for car 21. Lap time has just been removed for Piotr Wisnicki at turn 4, which is the left-hander uphill, which is the next corner on circuit we are coming to now. So it's this uphill left-hander. So he's clearly gone all 4 wheels off there, Piotr Wisnicki. However, we've got to keep an eye on Beganovic as well. Beganovic is going quicker in the first sector. As I said, Dudu Barrichello's going quicker. Noel Leon's going quicker. Across the line come Barrichello and Leon. They slowed up through the last sector to go for a final push lap. Beganovic is only going to have one more chance after this. He qualified on row 6 yesterday. Your championship leader, his championship rival, is currently going to start on the front row. He's going to start on row 6. He needs to improve. Beganovic has to improve. He comes up to the line now and does not improve. Stays in P6. Beganovic in big, big trouble here. His championship lead is falling away very, very quickly. He's got one more chance now to try and close in on Gabriele Mini. It seems the first group are going to be the quicker group once again. What about Kaz Habercourt? We're yet to see him show the pace we saw yesterday. He's gone slower through the first sector as well. But once again, Owen Tangavelu has gone personal best through the first sector. He's absolutely flying out there. Here comes Beganovic. Oh, big mistake there from Dino Beganovic, and that is his qualifying session done. Clipped the curb through turn 4, unsettled the car, and Dino Beganovic will start no higher than row number 6. could be in trouble because Noel Leon is improving down in P12 here. Owen Tangavellu is improving. It seems he's had a slow second sector. Up to the line we come. We can see the likes of Sami Megatunev coming up to the line. Here comes Tangavellu now. Does not improve. Slow second sector, unfortunately. Tangavellu stays down in P7, just could not get the lap together. What about Josh Dufek? He's put in a good second sector here. Here we can see the replay, and just running over the rumble strips there, you can see clipped the curb, and on the exit, just went over the exit curve and briefly airborne there. Beganovic, that would have scared him slightly. Where's Josh Dufek though? Up to the line he comes. Will he improve? No, stays in P4. Checker flag is flying. We still have chances to improve, and Owen Tangavellu is improving once again. I know I keep saying it, but he's the only driver improving, as is Leonardo Fornaroli. They're the only two improving on this last lap. Francesco Braschi is the other. Gabriele Mini also improving. 4 drivers out there who look like we potentially could see changes. Beganovic is done. His last lap, unfortunately, has seen a mistake at turn 4. Tim Tramnitz has put it in a good second sector. Are we going to see changes on this final lap? Are we going to see the time of Hadrian David, 138.185, get beaten? Gabriele Mini up to the line now. Mari Boyer does not improve on P10. Here comes Gabriele Mini. No, he does not improve. Here's Owen Tangavellu. He's put in a good second sector. What can he do through the final sector? Tim Tramnitz up into P2 there. Leonardo Fornaroli has yet to come across the line. He's P3. Tangavellu up to P4. 138.685. It's 2 RPM cars in the top 10. Fornaroli does not improve. He stays in P3. What about Kaz Habercourt? Not improving on this final lap, so he will be down in P6. Row 6 it will be for Kaz Habercourt. We've had times removed for Dino Beganovic and for Kaz Habercourt. Of course, that was the mistake we saw from Beganovic, and there was a lap time removed for Kaz Habercourt as well. But starting on the front row of the grid will be Gabriele Mini. Pole position will go to Hadrian David for the second time this season. Starting from P2, and on the inside will be Gabriele Mini. Brilliant performance from him, and he starts a long, long way ahead of his title rival, Dino Beganovic. Tim Tramnitz, after 3 DNFs in a row, will start from row number 2. What a weekend this has been for Trident. They are going to have Leonardo Fornaroli on row number 3. They are scoring big, big points this weekend. Owen Tangavellu, for the first time, makes 2 RPM cars in the top 10. What a weekend for them. And Josh Dufek, yet again, is in the top 10. 4 rookies in the top 5 in this session. Fantastic performance from them, just to show the progress they are making this season and the standard of the grid we have in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Results on screen: Mini, Tramnitz, Fornaroli, Tangavellu, Dufek. Kaz Habercourt will have work to do from row 6. Beganovic will start from 14th on the grid. His title rival, only 27 points behind him, starts in 2nd. It's going to be a fascinating race. Megatunev will start on row 8. Van Hoopen, row 9. Mari Boyer will be on row number 10. Dudu Barrichello will be 22nd on the grid. Leon, 24th. Rosso, 26th. Wisnicki will be 28th. Zagazzetta will start 30th on the grid. Then behind that will be Braschi. He will start 32nd. And starting on row 17 will be Nicolas Baptiste. Well, there we can see drivers coming in. Nicolas Baptiste will be the 33rd and final driver on the grid. And that is the Hungaroring circuit. That is qualifying done. Do join us again for the race later. We will be live from 40 minutes past 4 local time here at the Hungaroring. For now, though, from all of us here at the Hungaroring, it's a goodbye. When you come back and join us, it's going to be that man there, Gabriele Mini, who is going to be on the front row, taking the fight to the man who starts from pole position, Hadrian David. You do not want to miss it. We'll see you at 40 minutes past 4.